Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be all about your next chapter. I have been looking forward to doing this reading for some time. So I will do a quick overview and then I'll do a more in-depth overview of how this reading is going to go. So generally, you're going to choose your piles and then we'll be pulling some cards for what this next chapter will bring. I'll first go into our little paper um, selection. Basically, I have written down like all the houses with different focuses, and I'm gonna aim to pull two of them to really just say like, oh, like this is the area that's being highlighted for you most. And what we'll be doing is drawing a couple of cards to focus in on what will be happening in your career and finances for this next chapter, what will be happening in your relationships. I'm going to try and get specific messages for romantic relationships just because I know how popular they are. I know whenever I'm watching these readings, I'm like, tell me about my love life, girl. And but we'll also focus in on other relationships as well. And then we will pull some cards for how you're going to be feeling, what's going to be going on in your inner/slash spiritual world. So today we've got three piles to choose from. So for the pile selection, I'll be showing you your crystal and then taking a card from the deck. So you'll have multiple options for choosing how you want to find the energy that best resonates for you. So for number one, we have the opalite. And your card is the Justice in the upright. For pile number two, this is a Mother Space Tarot. We've got some rough citrine action. Need to not focus in on my band-aid. Here we go. And then your card is the Son of Disc, which is the Page of Pentacles. Then pile number three, you've got some Cloudy Quartz. And then for your card, you have the Page of Wands in the reverse. So these are all of your options laid out. So feel free to take as much time as you need for this part of the reading. And I will feel free to pause the video here is what I meant to say. And I will see you in your groups. Bye. Hi, Pal Ones. Welcome to your reading. Today's reading is all about what's happening in your next chapter. Very exciting times. So today we're going to be first pulling to get what the main areas of focus will be. So I have the 12 houses with some signifiers because each of the 12 astrological houses are related to certain aspects, which aspects is being highlighted for you in this new chapter. And we'll be pulling some cards for what's going on in your career, what's going on in your relationships, and I'll pull some love oracle messages as well. And then finally, what's going on within your inner and outer world. So my pile number ones, you guys chose this lovely opalite. I'm going to set that to the side. And without further ado, let's get into it. So what are the areas being highlighted for our pile number one, Spirit? So we've got one of them stuck to my band-aid. We've got this one. And this one. I think I want to do a big reveal for you guys. So I'm going to set those aside. And then what is going on in their career and finances in this new chapter. finances, their relationships, their relationships. An explosion of energy. So I think something big is happening in this area. And then finally, what is going on in their inner world, their spiritual connections. So we got this. Other messages for okay. Set that aside. And what's the love oracle message? Feeling for this group, I want to just get everything out at once and then we can talk about it. Great. So fairly quickly, see if there's a way we can get everything in frame without sacrificing. We're gonna do our best. Okay, so this is self, spiritual world, this is money and career, and then this is relationships. So for the bottom of the deck, um, feels like you guys might be moving into a winter season. So by that, I don't necessarily mean winter, but it could be, depending on which hemisphere of the world that you are in. If winter is a upcoming season coming up, then that might be a sign that this is your pile in particular and that, there are messages in here for you. But by a winter season, I more so mean a season of reflecting. And I'm hearing like integrating some lessons. So we'll see. So for areas of focus, you have the 10th house career, and that was on the career pile. And then you have 10th house long-term goals. Wow. So big 10 energy, big completion, big building, which I think like we all do in our winter season as well. You're not harvesting, you're preparing like you would in a fall season, you're preparing to reap the fruits in the spring and summer. So for your first card for the career, you have the 3 of Wands. Interesting. And your second card, you have the Tower. Okay. Makes a lot of sense. For your spiritual, you've got the 9 of Wands in reverse and the Page of Cups in reverse. For your relationships, you have the 4 of Swords, the upright, and then Judgment in the upright. And then for your oracle, you have romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. Okay. Very, very interesting energy we have here. So, what I want to, okay, I was going to try and not do the career and finances. But it's come up so much that we are going to talk about it. So, with the 3 of Wands and the Tower, what I'm getting here is that there is some unexpected changes and disruptions that are going to be coming. So you're going to really be assessing where you are in life, and where you want to move forward. And based on how these two cards came out, with this one coming first, it feels like this tower moment is really catalyzed by you. And particularly, it could be that you're making a pivot that you never saw coming, like in terms of the career and the direction that you're going in your professional life, and any projects that you are undertaking or a part of. It could be that you're walking away from something, but it doesn't really feel like this tower moment isn't one that the universe is not one that you don't see coming, because I'm getting the sense that it's very much initiated by you. It's not the universe being like, like I think you should be focusing on this pile number one. It's really just feeling like you are the one who is initiating this shift. And as a result, like this tower moment and this complete upheaval is is welcome ultimately. And like typically, like with a tower, it's like, oh, things are falling apart because it wasn't built on a solid foundation. But I really just feel like with this in particular with like 10th house coming out not once, not but twice, particularly the long-term goals, it feels like you are shifting this direction to be more aligned with it. So it kind of is like how there's what I've noticed in my personal life, is particularly after the pandemic, trigger warning, is that there have been, and with people working from home, like a lot of people's priorities have shifted over the last couple of years. And I know I'm including myself in that, and recognizing that the systems that they had in place and the way that they're moving about their life and their relationships wasn't actually serving them. So it's about finding something that does, and it feels like this is the process that you're in, which is you're in the process of being like, what is the foundation that I need to build to be more aligned with my long-term goals. And I think it's really about the career direction you want to choose. And it's not to say that you're going to quit your job or that you would lose your job. I'm not getting like a lot of energy that it could be that you're planting the seeds to harvest in a further season or in a couple of years, and saying, okay, I thought I wanted this out of my career. Let's say you work in finance, for example, and you're realizing that you actually want to move into the charity sector, and you are like, okay, what I'm going to start doing is seeing if there's any charities that I could be a trustee for, to try and understand how they work, how they make decisions, where I can add value. So you come on in a role that's kind of really aligned with like what your current skill set is, with the aim of being like, oh, but I think that I want to move to, I have so many like networks, I want to do like fundraising, for example. Um, so it's what you're shifting now will help you to get to that long-term goal. But I'm hearing someone say rinse erase. So it's going to be in very incremental steps. Like it's the tower, and the shifting is the tower moment is really the mindset set shift around what it is that you want out of life and what it is that you're hoping to gain out of the things that you do and why you do it. You're really evaluating what motivates you, because this is, I'm imagining this person looking out into the horizon and being like, what do I want my legacy to have been? At the end of the day, when it's all said and done, what do I want to have? What do I want to have been known for? How do I want to be remembered? How do I want my loved ones to think of me? How do I want my peers to think of me? How do I want to leave the earth? Um, for some of you. And like, that's really what's driving this, is to say, like, there's a path that you may have been going down, and then you're realizing, I don't want to do this anymore. Or for some of you, I'm hearing it's like, I've never wanted to do this. I want to get back to what it is that I always wanted to do. And for others, I'm getting the sense, probably for the majority of you, it's just you did want to do this path for the period that you were doing it. And then you've just reached a point in your life that you just don't want to do it anymore, to be completely honest. There's no shame in that. Like, I think sometimes, again, depending on the school system you go to, but I feel like it's not uncommon that you're made to pick which track you want to be in and then stick to that for now until the end of time. But we are humans, we're multifaceted, we have a variety of interests, and those interests change because we are constantly changing, we're constantly growing. We come in, we have experiences that we didn't have when we were younger, and we're making these decisions that become so foundational and shift like our full essence, our full being. And that's kind of what you're coming into right now, because it's saying, okay, like, I used to like want this out of my life, and then I met this person and I got like my eyes were opened almost. And it's like, if you think about it, like all of my best friends now I have met within the last 5 years of my life, and I don't live in the country or the countries that I grew up in anymore. And I was like, all of these relationships that I've built that are so close and dear to me, I did not know these people growing up. I didn't even actually, I'm living in the country that I always wanted to live in, or imagine myself living in, but I didn't know these people. And I remember looking around and being like, oh, why is it so easy for, some of my friends to feel like they have best friends and people that they connect with? And why do I find this so challenging? It's because I wasn't in the right location to meet the people who would eventually become so, so important to me. And I remember seeing like this TikTok the other day where this creator was talking about how towards her, just talking about how her 30s have been this huge shift for her. And in her late 20s, she went through a very big breakup and thought like basically her life ended. And then was like, at 31, I met my husband. At 33, we got married. At 30, I met my best friend in the entire world. And like at 34, I had my child. And it's like like I thought my life ended and would need to have been set up in my 20s. And she was like, my 30s have been the place that has gotten me to where I needed to go. So it feels like that's really what's happening, but it's being sparked by you. So you're saying, for some of you, it could be quitting your job and diving headfirst into it, kind of like this person. But for a lot of you, I'm just saying, hearing that it's a shift and you're taking the step back to move into this more aligned energy. Now, when it comes to your relationships with romantic feelings, your feelings are real and worth exploring. I'm getting and I'm hearing that there's a potential that's not coming through very strongly, to be honest, but there's a potential to meet somebody during this next chapter. Um, what I'm more so getting is with this foundational shift that you're making, like you're actually moving closer for this. So it could be after you've set this up, that you're really moving towards that person that we're starting to see here. But with the Four of Swords energy, like it's a sort of like, it's this energy of like rest and ease. It's it's kind of like I'm getting like, and it is what it is energy. So for those of you who are already in sort of connections, um, I'm seeing them being like maintained. It seems like it's like a period of rest and recuperation. But with the Judgment here, is like it seems that there's something on the horizon. I'm just not getting the sense that it will happen directly in this chapter we're talking about, But what I am seeing is that there's like a major event that's coming that's just on the horizon. It's it really just feels like in the time period after this, the next chapter is really focused on this. This feels like more of a maintenance energy, um, and more a period where your relationships are in harmony, but there's something big that's happening. For some of you, that's meeting like your person. For others of you, it's meeting like going to, I always think of like judgment as ascension. So going to the next level with your partner, but again, the next level of commitment. It could be, meeting them. It could be moving in. It could be confessions of love. It could be meeting each other's people. But again, like the main energy I'm getting is just sort of like chill, a chill vibe. We're letting our relationships be what they are. It doesn't seem like there's going to be a lot of upheaval. It's just sort of like our attention is here. And it does really seem like you have a lot of supportive people around you in this time who could be supporting this huge shift that's going on. But for the most part, things I'd say in your relationships are maintaining the status quo with some really good potential on the horizon. And I feel like this potential is coming after the tower. Okay. And so for our final sort of section, it's focus on what's going on in your inner world. So we've got two cards in reverse. We have the Nine of Wands, the Page of Cups. What I'm really feeling here with the reversals is really just that you're drawing a lot of your self, like your energy inwards. And I'm hearing that a lot of you will be trying to work with your guides as you try and navigate this process. And this process is going to be, I don't want to use the word distressing. I'm hearing more like mental exhaustion. So for some of you, it could be very like emotive and bring out those emotions of, oh my gosh, like why me? Like why am I going through this? Um, but for others of you, it's just sort of like that huge shift that's going on to align you with some new long-term goals is really about understanding yourselves, and you're doing a lot of like inner work. And for some of you, it's going back to this childlike energy and looking at what's brought you joy and where has that spark been for you, and really, this is really about like connecting with the things that you were interested in and that made you really happy and what brought you alive when you were a kid. And it really feels like this, you're coming back to basics energy, and that's what you're realizing through this process. And seeing for some of you how far you've deviated from that. But for others of you, it's like just how do we shift back? Because I'm not getting for a lot of you that it's like you've completely gone left. For some of you, that may apply. So take that if it resonates. But it's more so, oh, like I forgot, like this was something that I was super interested in. And then I just got caught up in like the rat race or the wheel of life. um, this is really just about like bringing ourselves back into that aligned energy. So yeah. Oh, look at the flame in the seashell. Seashell is going wild right now. You guys can't see it, but it's really like it's shooting up beyond like the camera. But yeah, what a powerful reading, my pal number ones. Thank you. That's all the messages I'm seeing for you right now. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day whenever you're watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye. Hi, Baltus. Welcome to your reading. So today we are going to be going over what is happening, what's in this next chapter for you. So you guys chose this gorgeous rough citrine and the Mother Space Tarot. So for a breakdown of what we're going to be doing, so I'm first going to pull some houses papers. So I've written down the 12 astrological houses with specific keywords that are relate to the house and are going to be the area of focus in this next chapter. And we're going to be pulling some cards for your career and finances in this next chapter, your relationships, and then pulling a love oracle message for those of you who are into that. And then for the final section, we'll be looking at what's going on in your spiritual, your inner world, yourself, that kind of vibe. So what I think makes the most sense is what is going on for my pile number twos. Where is our main area of focus spirit? So I've gotten these two. Set this aside. What I think just makes sense for this is I just want to go for the big reveal, and we'll just pull the cards now and then go over all of the energy at once just to get the full picture. So, Spirit, what is going on in pile number two's career and finances? Okay, so you got this card, this card. What is going on? Oh, okay, so what is going on in pile number two's relationship? Ooh, okay, the curve flips over, so I know what it is. And what is going on in pile number two's inner world? So, and this. So for your bottom of the deck energy, you have the Six of Discs or the Six of Pentacles. And let's flip over. So I'm just going to do this one just because this deck is quite graphic. So I don't want to censor this. So for the self in a world, you've got the Son of Wands, which is the Son of Swords, sorry, which is the Knight of Swords. Then you've got the Eight of Cups in reverse. Then we have the Lovers for your relationships. And the Priestess of Cups, which is the Queen of Cups. And for your career, see how this wants to fall. Okay, reverse. So you've got the Nine of Discs or the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. And then your career cards have like come out at a weird angle. So I'm just gonna, how do you want to fall? So the Four of Discs or the Four of Pentacles in the upright. So Pentacles for career and finances, which makes a lot of sense. And before I forget, what is pile number two's love oracle messages? So we have wedding. This situation involves marriage. Okay. So it's actually very lucky because these get more graphics. I'm surprised I only need to censor one. So we have the seventh house contracts. Oh, I need to redo these at some point, but it's you're gonna need to trust me. It's a seventh house contract, and then we have wedding. Okay. And then we have fourth house property. So, and you have the four. Oh, okay. So it's looking like your material world, particularly your career and finances, and your romantic relationships in particular, are being very strongly highlighted at this time. What I want to start off with is oh, okay, I want to start off with your relationships. So with the lovers here and the Queen of Cups in the reverse. What with the lovers in particular, I'll start there. I am getting a energy of there's a very important decision that needs to be made within your love life. Um, and for a lot of you, it's coming around like unions. So I'm going to focus in on this is giving me a very romantic vibe. So if you're not in that, I'll try and do some interpretations after. So just stick stick around for that, please. Um, so I think what is happening for you guys is that you're in a situation, particularly with the Queen of Cups in reverse. I'm hearing that you're doubting your intuition. And what I'm hearing in with this being like the focus, like I just heard like you've already met the romantic partner that you're seeking. That's like I think the soulmate card. It'd be so funny if it's the next one. Um that like that's within this oracle deck as well. So what is happening here is I'm hearing that you've just doubted your intuition, and in doubting, and Spirit is saying that you don't need to do that. Your intuition has been right about this romantic situation, and I'm hearing that it's more in the positive sense. So if you've gotten like a positive feeling around, let's say, your person being out there or this current situation that you're in, being with like your divine counterpart, your spirit guides in particular are saying there is no need to doubt this. We have given you every possible sign and every possible indication that we can to show you that your intuition is right. And you're kind of letting like your 3D self get in the way of that. And what it feels like was happening in this next chapter is that there's this energy of a release with like the lovers. I always like the lovers card always reminds me of Valentine's Day, but it's this I'm going to give myself to this person and to this connection and to just love freely and to really let go of any fears and to just do this wholeheartedly. And with contracts here, it looks like your contract is going to be sort of around like, for those of you, I'm hearing for those of you who are particularly in a connection right now that's going well, this situation involves marriage. So I think it's very, very likely that you'll be moving to a higher level of commitment with this person in this next chapter, which sounds like it's just happening very, very soon for you. It feels like things are progressing really well and quite seriously for you. It's not going to be like a yes, let's meet each other's family. That's an important step. Not trying to like downplay that, but what it really is like you guys coming together to say, this is, you're my person, we're each other's people. I want to do life with you. What do we need to do to make that happen? Is it us moving in together, us having conversations about marriage, us having conversations about our finances and how we deal with that, us having conversations about how do we raise kids if that's what we want, or what do we want our child-free life to look like? This is really what it is feeling like for you, my lovely pile number twos. For those of you who aren't currently connecting with somebody and or aren't interested in that, um, if you aren't connecting with somebody, I feel like this is the spirit saying that you are going to meet somebody in this next chapter who will pique your interest and who you have a strong potential to marry. But this is kind of dependent on and hinging on you giving like your love freely and letting go of those past hurts. And I know it's so hard to like do that, but not the way my mom has always put it to me is I'm not going to give somebody the power over me to dictate how I move forward. And I think that's something her grandma said to her, is just being like, we will get hurt. Like, that's just life. That's one of the sort of unfortunate realities of life. We will always, like, we will get hurt. That's a part of it. If we move forward in that hurt, we are relinquishing our power to the person who hurt us. And what's more powerful and most beautiful is to keep that power to ourselves, or to hold on to that power and say, I'm not going to let you take away my ability to love and to love freely and to love joyfully. I am going to stay in this divine sort of energy. So that's what I'm feeling for you guys. For those of you who aren't in a relationship, what I'm hearing is that if you're involved in a legal contract, or if you're worried about that, I'm hearing that that will come to a decision in your favor, particularly with wedding coming out and seeing that as sort of like the positive outcome of that. And then for others of you who you're going to meet somebody in the business realm who has a strong potential to become a very fruitful business partnership. You're going to be making some decisions around either if you have existing businesses or if you have existing projects, like leveraging what you're each are doing to create something new and create something better. Or you're coming together to create something new for this for the first time. But I'm getting sort of like that energy around like a contract. For some of you with property here, it could be, trying to break into property, buying real estate, something like that. Only if that resonates, um, or something that you feel interested in doing. So, with the Nine of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles, what I am hearing is that you're going into, I like that okay. I think what you're really being called is to in this chapter is to share your wealth. I feel like you're in this more Four of Pentacles now. Um, and it's really about like holding on and shutting people out. And what you're being asked to do in this next chapter is really to share your resources and share your sort of like opportunities with people. So I'm having two interpretations for this. So sort of pick which one resonates to the stuff that you've experienced or have gone through. So the first one, let me not. I've been trying to keep my hands out because I will hit this, and this will be so annoying to edit out. But for the first sort of situation, what I am getting is that you are been in this energy of really focusing on saving, and holding on to the material resources that you have, which is good, and Spirit wants to commend you for that. But it's also about learning to enjoy right? And this Nine of Pentacles is about learning to enjoy, learning to share in the resources. And it's not to say like you will just start giving away your money, for example, but it's like, how do I share with other people, share in the spoils of my hard work and move out of this energy of this scarcity mindset, and like really just start to enjoy what you've built. And this is sort of the energy that lies in it for you in this next chapter. For others of you, though, what I'm hearing is that like you may have been in the opposite scenario where you've been in this energy around like giving things away and saying yes to everything. And spirit is really calling in this like next chapter is to bring that into balance a little bit. Actually spend for the money that's in your account and plan for the money that's in your account, not the money that you hope to bring in or the money that'll be there next month. Spirit's asking you to be a bit more discerning with your finances. So whichever side of the spectrum that you lie on, Spirit is saying you need to bring these two energies into balance, right? It's not just about holding on to every penny. It's about, okay, how do I enjoy this within my means and remain comfortable? And how do I enjoy the present, but also, save for the future and look at my retirement, for example, and look at any future purchases I want to make or know that I have like subscriptions and insurance to buy those practical things, and weighing that and being like, but I can also have fun with my money. And, I'm not bent to just hold on to everything as tightly as humanly possible. And then spirits again, like cautioning again, being in this too much of this enjoyment and like, I'll give here and here and here and won't, pay attention to what my outgoings and my ingoings are. I will, spirit saying like, hey, just be mindful. So you're really bringing this energy into balance in this next chapter, and figuring out how do you enjoy and save. And with the spiritual sort of aspects of things, what I am seeing is that you're going to be having a much more clearer relationship with your higher self. In particular, I feel like in this next chapter, you're really going to be working on your relationships with your higher self. And that's going to be the main sort of spirit guide that you're working with. You're letting go of, I think it's really with the Eight of Cups in reverse. It's like you're just bringing in this energy of focus. And it's not like you're walking away from something, you're walking to something. If you're familiar with the traditional Rider-Waite, then you'll know that like the Eight of Cups imagery is this person walking away from the Eight Cups. But with this octopus, I'm hearing instead of trying to hold on to too many things, it's really focusing in on one energy. And with that, I'm seeing it here with the really building your intuition, particularly with that. And it's like, I always like to think of it as your intuition is coming from insights that your higher self has. And in, working on this relationship, you're going to, within yourself, you're going to have clearer insights, and clearer sort of sparks of intuition in this next chapter, because you'll be working with your higher self a lot more. And I think as well, just with the Six of Pentacles, just because I haven't talked about it, and I meant to with the career, it's really just about coming into and and sort of evaluating your relationship with the physical world as well as the spiritual world. And it's about, and I think again, this is where we're letting go of fears here. This is why we're bringing in like our spending habits in particular into balance. But it's again just about being very conscious and mindful about both the present, opportunities as well as the future potential. Okay, my pile number twos, that is all the messages I see for you. So I'm going to leave your reading here. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. I hope you have a wonderful day, rest of your day whenever you're watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye. Hi, Pal Threes, and welcome to your reading. So you guys chose this cloudy quartz. So in today's reading, we are going to be figuring out what is happening for you in your next chapter. So how this reading is going to go is we're going to pull some some houses. So I've written down the 12 astrological houses as well as some signifiers for some main themes around each of these houses. So this will sort of be where your areas of focus is likely to lie in the next chapter that you're about to enter. And then I will pull some tarot cards. So we'll focus on your career and finances in the next chapter, your relationships, including your romantic ones. So we'll pull a romance oracle card for your romantic situation in particular. And then we will end on looking at what your spiritual slash inner world is going to be looking like in the next chapter. So, how I have been doing this, I'll just set your crystal to the floor, is just getting all of the information out and then flipping it over and then looking at the big picture. So I'm first going to start with your houses. Got this one. Yeah. Okay. So we've got second house. Will this focus? Second house money, bracket yours. So really focusing in on your money and what it's doing. And seventh house, romantic partners. Okay. I do apologize, the writing's quite small on this. We'll figure out a way to make it show up a bit better on camera. So, Spirit, what is going on in pile number 2? I forgot to say which deck this is, and honestly, I forget. I'll put it in the comment section most likely, or the description box. Okay, so got this coming out for your career, and this one coming out for these two cards coming out for your career and finances. What's going on in group number 3's romantic relationships, please, Spirit? What's going on in group number 2's relationship, Spirit? Okay. And finally, what's going on in their inner slash spiritual realm? Group number 3. Out their inner world slash spiritual realm. Alrighty. And their oracle card for their romance reading, for their romantic relationships. Okay. So, for your inner world, you've got the Six of Wands in reverse. And you've got the Lovers. And for your career and finances, you have the Moon in reverse. Excuse me. And then you have the Hierophant in reverse. And then for your relationships, you have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. There we go. And then you have the Empress in the upright. So you guys have a lot of major arcana. And then for your Oracle card, you have Flirt, extend your, sorry, this isn't focusing. Here we go. Flirt, extend your lighthearted energy to others. So you guys have a lot of major arcana, and to be honest, it's the most out of any group that we've covered so far in today's reading. So I'm getting that a lot of your steps in this next chapter is divinely orchestrated. And what I mean by that is you guys have the Queen of Cups as your back of the deck energy, which I like to pull to sort of give me a flavor of what the overall energy is like. And what I'm getting for you is that this is sort of like the period where there's a lot of culmination, a lot of things that you've worked really hard on and have worked really sort of diligently to bring in. And this seems like a chapter in your life where there is a lot of things that you've been working on manifesting that is going to be coming in, particularly. The reason why I say that is going to be a very blessed time for you is kind of what I'm getting with the number of major arcana cards on the in today's spread, in today's reading. You have one per each category. And for career and finances and romantic relationships, it is very, very much um, like fully divinely orchestrated is what I'm trying to say, because the energy for this is off the charts. So I want to start with your inner world. So we have the Six of Wands in reverse with the Lovers. So with the Six of Wands in reverse, it really just feels like you are picking up a new meditative hobby is what I'm hearing, or a new meditative practice. So for some of you, this might quite literally be meditation, or yoga. But what I am getting here is that you're picking up a new practice in your life and as a part of your self-care routine that is going to enable you to really drop into your body. Um, and this is what I'm picking up like intuitively with this, with the Six of Wands in the reverse. It's not about like the forward motion as we're looking in, as we've, grown accustomed to this card in the upright. It's really, really about focusing in on, okay, how do I bring awareness to my body? How do I bring awareness to my practice? Uh, so by meditative practice, it's anything that gets you any activity that like you can only focus on what you're doing. So I have a few friends who are runners who will always say like running is like meditation for them, because once they get out onto the open road, like that's how it feels for them. I've not ran in a number of years, so but I can attest to the fact that when I did run, like it was just the only thing I could concentrate on at the time. It was very much like I've got to put one foot forward um, in front of the other. So it feels like that's something new coming in as a new practice, or revisiting an old practice. Because I'm hearing for some of you that running example really, really resonated. And you used to run like me and have not done it in a while. And you're going to be picking up something. It could be painting, it could be drawing, it could be crocheting, it could be knitting. I think it's going to be something physical though, something like a hobby that you're passionate about and deeply invested in, that you that brings you to the space in particular. With the Lovers here, really what I'm what this card is here to do is just sort of like back up the Six of Wands in reverse. What I'm hearing is a sort of like this calibrating activity for you, that's really bringing you into, it's just like talking about how this activity in particular and this hobby and this practice is like recalibrating your energy, which is sounds delightful. I really kind of want to, please, if you do remember, please comment down below what the activity is for you, because it really sounds like it's needed. And with the repeating sixes here, um, six could be, you could see a lot of repeating sixes in this, new chapter. I'm thinking that we have a lot of multiples of each other. So six, threes, 18. So I would say if you see repeating sixes, repeating fives, tens, those seem very, very significant for you in this time as well. So with the Wheel of Fortune, I want to move on to your relationships. In reverse, it feels like there's been a cycle that's ended here. Um, and for some of you, that will be a relationship has ended. And I think no matter what it is, what type of relationship you're in, I don't think it really matters what type of relationship is what I'm trying to say. Um, is like it could be a friendship that's ended, it could be you've recently gone through a breakup, it could be a familial relationship that's particularly ended at this moment in time, or looks like it's at the end. There's something about it, looks like you're making this huge transition when it comes to your relationships. So an example that just came to mind is like when you're, graduating high school and then going off to university, and you and your group of friends at the time like all pick you all pick the schools and universities that you want to go to, and you all pick different places, and like some places will be like either near your hometown, or some of you have decided to venture off to other places, other cities, even other countries. So it's your relationships is changing. It's the end of an era as you know it. And particularly in that example, it's kind of like, your relationships are no longer built around like uh, your current school center. You're stepping into this new chapter and this new sort of routine, and your relationships will be built around like that new structure. So another example of this is kind of like the opposite. Like when you're leaving school, like a lot of your relationships no longer are about like who do you have class with, like who do you see on a regular basis, like who do you go to campus with, like none of that is based on like the people that you choose, and need to put a lot more effort into it. So it's really feeling like you're ushering in this new era in your relationship, and one that's going to bring a lot of like abundance and harmony. So what I'm seeing with the Empress here is you're going to be getting a lot of deep, deep fulfillment out of the relationships that you are currently out of the relationships that you will be fostering and developing in the next chapter of your life. What again, like this is going to be a period of great abundance, of great fertility, in the sense of everything that is like whatever seeds you plant are going to be fairly fruitful. What I'm seeing here, particularly, I'm gonna switch the focus on like romantic relationships a little bit, just because we did get the seventh house romantic partners come up as the main area of focus, is that a lot of you will be meeting a significant romantic partner in this chapter. I'm not necessarily getting like it'll be full union, but I'm getting that a lot of you will meet romantic, like a very significant romantic partner in this chapter. With a lot of the examples I'm getting about your relationships have to do with group settings. So it kind of feels like you might meet them either in a group or when you're out in a group or just in a group setting. So like it's not like they're coming to your door and they're the delivery person like bringing you your Amazon package. It's more so like you might be out at a cafe, you might be at a party, you might be in class, you might be at work. It really just feels like you're in a group setting or you signed up for a sport or something. What Spirit is asking you to do with this flirt card is to remain in this like very fun and open energy. Spirit really wants you in this chapter to be very open to the possibilities because you're bringing in a lot of soul family and they want to make sure that they recognize you as an energetic match. And the way Spirit's encouraging you to do that is to try and approach these new settings with as much of a positive and receptive attitude as possible for you. Um, so it could be as simple as, smiling. It could be about like when you go out into the world, just giving people a little wave or something like that, or like not being afraid to try and make friends. And so like after a class just saying, oh hey, like how did you find that, or oh my gosh, I can't believe like class was so tough today. And like trying to be as open. Like Spirit is really encouraging some of you to get out of your shell, and to really lead with this like receptive energy. And to I'm hearing like you kind of have to open up to receive. So like the Queen of Cups is, I always imagine her as this like divine feminine energy is very much focused on like the receiving, very much aligned with the emotional prowess and things like that. And Spirit really wants you to embody those qualities in your day-to-day life because that's really what's going to focus in on bringing in these relationships. Now, for the Hierophant and the moon here, what I'm really getting is that Spirit has something up their sleeves for you when it comes to your career and finances. I'm hearing that it's an unexpected gift. Um, for those of you who have older relatives that you have close relationships with, it could be an inheritance of some kind. I'm not trying to say that like this inheritance is coming as a result of somebody passing away. More so like they set up like a trust for you, and is revealing it in like the near future that you have access to this money. It feels very much, particularly with the Hierophant here, that is an older figure, like somebody who holds like a lot more authority in your life, that is going to really come in and like that is going to come in and sort of highlight this opportunity and really deliver this like blessing. For others of you, it may not be as explicit as like a monetary gift. um, I know we all want that. I would love that as well. Spirit, if you're listening, I think what it's talking about is guidance that you're going to receive from somebody, which is going to illuminate like a truth, and really deepen your knowledge in an area that you weren't like really build out your expertise. So what I'm hearing for some of you is that you could be getting a mentor in this time. And what this mentor is going to do is really sort of help you to deepen your skills, help them to deepen your understanding within this realm, and help you really take charge of your career and your finances, which is really going to bring in this blessed like energy, particularly as we had the second house, your money, come up in the beginning to sort of set the tone for what you can expect in this next chapter. So for some of you, it could be a mentor, it could be a coach. So like it's really feeling like you're learning a specific skill or you're getting specific experience or the benefit of somebody else's experience, which sorry, which is going to help illuminate and ameliorate like your own financial circumstances. So if you have been looking into career coaching or mentoring, then, like I would keep that up. What I'm also hearing as well is that like this mentor, this person could be found as a result of like this, you know, open and receptive energy that you're in when it comes to your like relationships, and it could be that they're a relative of somebody that you meet, or you get introduced to them or their work because of somebody that you meet in this next chapter, but they're really going to be coming through with advice. It could be, again, that this person, if you do have your own business and you do have your own project, they end up giving from their own pockets and investing in your project themselves as a result of you guys working together. So overall, some very powerful and exciting energy coming for you guys in this next chapter. I am going to leave your reading there because that is all the messages I am seeing for you. I want to thank you guys so, so much for letting me read for you today. I hope you have a good rest of your day whenever you're watching, and hope you come to see me next time. Bye.